Hi and welcome to the Cult TV Sofa. This is a reaction video for the 6th episode of Season 3 of Babylon 5 called Dust to Dust. You can now see the full reaction for this video on my Patreon channel, links in the description below. Last time we saw Delenn propose to the others in the War Council that they go out to recruit some of the first ones to help them. Delenn brought Dral on board to help find them, and he reminded them how dangerous this would be and how much fun. A Ministry of Peace representative boarded the station. She was there to provide assistance and advice to the captain so that his actions wouldn't embarrass or negatively impact EarthGov. We saw G'Kar asking questions about the Rangers to multiple people on the station, including Delenn and Garibaldi. Ivanova went down to the planet and entered the Great Machine. She had a bit of a run-in with the Shadows, but she also found evidence that President Clark was part of the assassination of the previous president. Whilst Sheridan fended off the advances of his new advisor, Ivanova went out to find some of the first ones. At a Night Watch meeting, Zack was starting to feel very conflicted between what was being asked of him, his morals, and his role as a security officer. Ivanova found a first one and managed to get a commitment for their help, after she wound them up a bit about the Vorlons. News about the President's transgressions were leaked, and the advisor was recalled to Earth, with Zack feeling very conflicted about his roles. And G'Kar gave Garibaldi his copy of the Book of G'Quan to see if it would help. So let's see what happens in this episode. I'm going to put any relevant trivia that I find over here, and at the end of the reaction I'll be discussing what happened and my thoughts about it. And I'm going to start it in 3, 2, 1.
Look, I'm not taking this down.
You want me to report this? Is that what you want? Because I can do that.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Kick the... Oh, assassin out. That said president out. But same thing.
Clark helped assassinate Santiago. People want to express their feelings about it.
Yeah, kick the assassin out.
That's all.
It's sedition, disloyal.
Ooh.
This isn't disloyalty or an attack on the office of the president. Start going back to your shop. If this happens again, you call me.
Well, that's good to see. Obviously, the captain being, I'm trying to put it, not following the new rules of EarthGov, new guidance of EarthGov, towing the Night Watch line kind of thing. I know he's obviously not part of it. That security guard is obviously completely on board with Night Watch and the message that's been given out. Yeah, he was saying it's sedition, and it's not. It's the people. I don't know how you put it in America exactly, but it's the people showing their opinion of the people in power, which I know in America they're allowed to do. In most countries you're allowed to do it, not in all countries. Right to... Oh, I can't remember the wording. But yeah, any democracy, they should be able to voice opinions. Obviously, Night Watch trying to clamp down on that, but the captain's not having any of that.
Aren't you late for a Bund meeting or something?
I might have to look that up, and I can't remember what that relates to.
It's the fourth incident like this I've had in 2 days. Enough. If it happens again, whoever's responsible will be disciplined.
Is it the fourth incident with that guy in particular? In which case I understand why the captain's talking to him. If it's the fourth incident in general across all of security, the captain needs to be having that conversation with Garibaldi. He's in charge of security. There's a conflict between Night Watch and security, but this guy's acting as a security officer. So it's Garibaldi needs to be stamping down on this, really. But say it depends if it was him in particular. If it's 4 times for the same guy, I think that would be a disciplinary matter. Is the captain going to get reported now for doing that?
Open channel.
But I'll be arriving on Babylon 5 in approximately 7 hours. I'm in
Always
pursuit
fun.
of an individual who's a danger to your station. I'll see you then.
Be seeing you.
Same old gag. Somebody here is a danger to the station.
It is. Yeah. I was just thinking that.
I mean, does he really think that we're gonna fall for that line again?
Oh, there really is.
Make it stop! Make it stop! Make it stop! Make it stop!
I don't know what it is. I'm getting this feeling. Don't know why. He wants it to stop. Don't know. Just this. Maybe I'm telepathic. Don't know. But it's just this feeling I'm getting. He seemed a little bit unhinged, and I'm assuming he's the person Bester's coming to find from the way it was all scripted and the scenes followed each other. To be fair, each time Bester has come, it has been for the reasons Garibaldi said, but it was people who could do harm to the station, more that they were going to do harm to the Psi Corps and the Psychops, but they could do damage to the station as well. Jason Ironheart, he did do damage to the station literally. The telepaths on the Underground Railroad, they could do damage to the station. That wasn't their intent, but they could. I think that's it. And now this guy.
He's a psychop. They're an elite corps of telepaths rated P12. The strongest we've got.
That we know about.
True.
They're not supposed to engage in unauthorized scans, but
You feel that he can no longer be trusted to honor that rule?
Oh, he wasn't trusted before, but they didn't have much to give away. Now they've got a lot of information to give away, which they wouldn't want him to know about, because then who else would find out about it? Yeah, that's an issue.
Or we kill him before he has a chance to tell anybody.
I will not support murder. We cannot kill him.
Can we wound him?
Just a switch.
There may be an alternative.
What? He hasn't been gone that long.
What is this?
it's a Minbari ceremonial coat of welcome.
Wear it when you're there, not here.
That's a fair point, to be honest. Wear it when he's on the planet, but not when he's elsewhere.
I need blood and tissue samples analyzed fast. He's messed up on something. I want to know what.
Test your neural pathways. Look for any sign of disruption, and I want his blood checked for traces of dust.
So she had injuries, but he's talking about those injuries.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just a little on edge lately, that's all. And look, I'm sorry I barked at you.
Is this a continuation of his addiction, that he's still snapping at people? Or is it just that there's a lot going on? I think I know the answer. Both.
Transport 1 to Babylon Control. Coming in.
Confirm transport, standby. Everyone clear the command deck, now.
What's she doing? What's she gonna do that can't have witnesses?
But nothing works with you people. Nothing but force.
She gonna kill him?
Activate forward defense grid.
She can't do... That's murder. She can't do that.
Defense grid, prepare to fire.
Who's this behind her?
Standing by.
Oof, she did do it.
There's always too many of them. And not enough of us.
By doing that, though, you become one of them and not one of
Fight
us.
them without becoming them.
He's being very sympathetic towards her, considering what she just did. That would worry me significantly if she could do that.
Captain, I would like an explanation.
Mr. Bester, these are Minbari telepaths.
Like a shield. Are they going to be blocking him? Little dampening field. One for each of them.
All right.
They rangers. That one literally is following. He's keeping very close distance. So obviously, the further he is away, which makes sense, that the harder it is to block. If he's right up close, it's easier for him to block the signals. That's a nice touch. Bit creepy though, especially that one guy in particular. He looks creepy. That Minbari. Yeah, I wonder if they're rangers. it would kind of make sense. Because they obviously know everything that's going. Well, they'll know enough of what's going on to be used to protect them. If they were just Minbari telepaths without knowledge of the Rangers and stuff, that's a danger in itself. So yeah, they must be Rangers. So they're going to have to be blocking. I wonder how it's working. Are they blocking or helping to shield each individual, which from the number of them there are, it would make sense. But it means they've also got to shield themselves because they've got knowledge as well. So Bester could scan them as well. So yeah, they're gonna have to work doubly hard. That's why it's probably dangerous.
I don't like you. We learned some interesting things about Miss Winters in the course of her debriefing and dissect.
Oh.
Don't. He's trying to provoke you.
Yeah,
Strong
it's
emotion
working.
is harder to block, and you can ride that into the rest of your mind.
Right. But is he telling the truth?
A normal human telepath can't stop you. But a group of Minbari telepaths together are strong enough to block even a Psychop.
The way she said that they're blocking... I don't know. It's weird. If they were just there, I'd have thought, yes, they're just blocking him. Just the way that one Minbari followed the captain to keep close contact with him. And there's the same number of them as there are to people needing to be blocked. Makes me think that they're blocking the individuals, not Bester. A bit odd. Don't know how quite this is working.
Either we use this to suppress your abilities to scan while you're here, or wherever we go,
He's not going to go for that.
You choose not to trust me. Well, that's sad and unfortunate.
And understandable.
I have no intention of letting it get in the way of my work. Doctor?
Oh, I'm surprised he's going along with that so easily.
Trust, Captain.
His abilities are his biggest weapon and defense.
The drug requires 3 hours to take effect. See you in 4.
What if he's got something that can counteract that drug?
On the other hand, maybe wounding him isn't such a bad idea.
I appreciate your willingness to mediate in this dispute, Delenn. Centauri never speak except to lie.
Okay, so that's good. Yeah, there's two parties need to have a discussion, but there's obviously animosity between them, so bringing in the Minbari, well, in particular Delenn and Linnea, very calming people, to mediate, that's a good idea. Otherwise it would just turn into a fighting match and nothing would get done.
Drazi space invaded by Centauri.
So they've actually attacked.
We say to the Centauri, what price is peace?
Yeah, sure, that's war. I suppose that if neither declare war, it's not. It's just a conflict.
Remember what happened to the non-homeworld, Bizek. You would not want the same to happen to your own. Ask Shakar.
That's quite the threat. Obviously, Delenn wasn't even to help with that one. And Veer's there.
Oh, that could have gone better.
One is foolish, the other frightened.
Telling which one is which, that's the hard part. Rolando.
I don't think there is anything that can be done for him now.
That's because you don't know him.
That's a big thing to say. No redemption at all.
For the last year, we've been after one of the biggest manufacturers of dust in Earth territory. The drug enhances the latent telepathic gene in most humans and gives it a destructive power for several hours.
The latent
Let's
gene.
invade someone's mind, experience everything they've experienced.
So they said latent gene, so that implies that there is a gene in all humans, most humans, which isn't necessarily activated, which is why not everyone's a telepath. But this drug does seem to activate it, but it does it in a very bad way, and obviously if it just activates it aggressively, that person's not going to know what to do with that ability, which is probably why they react so badly, I would assume. And that explains what happened to that one guy and why that other woman, I think it was unconscious because he attacked her mentally, and he got her memories, which is why he was talking about the mountain falling on him. So it's a drug. Okay, dust. What would happen if you gave it to a telepath? Someone who's already got telepathic abilities, would that significantly boost it?
Usually the victim recovers in a few days, but when a telepath is violated, he almost never recovers.
So so it's kind of like ripped out of them, the memory.
We believe one of the main distributors for dust has come to Babylon 5.
That's a silly thing for that guy to do. If there's someone, one of the main producers of dust, has come to Babylon 5, and all of a sudden cases start popping up. I'm assuming he's producing it. I'm saying he. I don't know if it's a he, she, or what. I'm just saying he. If they're producing it there in a small, compared to a planet, area, it's going to be a lot easier to find them and hunt them down and take care of them. It's also a smaller market for them to sell to. So it seems very odd that they would come to Babylon 5. It's obviously done for the story, but it wouldn't be a good place for a big distributor to go to. Maybe a dealer, someone who ships some drugs in and sells it locally. That would make sense, but not a big distributor. That doesn't make sense.
I think he's taken the next logical step and is preparing to sell mass quantities of dust to foreign governments to be used as weapons.
Right. Okay. I take back everything I just said. That makes sense, and it makes sense why you'd come to Babylon 5. Yeah, complete disregard everything I just said. Because all the species that come to, I was thinking purely humans, so all the different species come to Babylon 5. It is the perfect place to be a distributor and to set up shop. So, yeah, okay.
Do you know anyone here who might have an interest in buying weapons that can't be seen?
Lots.
That's just a sample.
Narn don't have telepaths, do they?
Then it stimulates the gene that controls telepathic development.
Do the Narn have that?
You just go for a joyride in somebody's mind.
Well, a drug that affects humans could affect Narn very differently.
Looking for a weapon that can be smuggled in, concealed easily, and used to strike at our enemies.
That is a hell of a weapon.
This stuff is made primarily for humans.
There are no non-telepaths now. But once long ago there were.
Still doesn't mean you got the gene now, though.
The telepath gene has never been strong enough in the survivors to breed a natural telepath.
If the gene's there, and Shakar seems to know about it, and he knows it's not been strong enough to produce telepaths, I can see that there would be experimentation done to enhance that gene, and I think they would have made telepaths. People would have volunteered, or made to a volunteer, I'm sure. In the entire, an entire species, someone would have done some experimentation. If that's the reason for them not having telepaths, it's not a convincing one to me. I think they would have worked on that.
The product has never been tested on Narns. It may have unpredictable results.
Well, it seems to do that for humans, let alone for Narn.
It's hard getting used to the silence.
Must be.
What silence?
Up here.
You pick up a constant background hum.
Yeah. Be background noise.
It's a strange feeling.
Could imagine it would be.
I sleep peacefully and contentedly.
That's the scary thing, because you shouldn't. Is he taking the drug? Ooh. It kind of makes sense that he would do it. He wouldn't give it to someone else to try, but whoa. So what abilities does he have? I mean, the damage to his room, was that physical damage? Did he rip it apart himself? Or is it telekinetic? Or has he just got telepathic abilities? Well, looks like you can go see 3D films, at least.
Well, I was supposed to be up for that.
So this is the kind of the first time like a telepath would be hearing voices. That would be overwhelming. Hear them directly in your head.
Anybody wants to move contraband through here, they gotta pay you and your boys to lay off. So what's the going price for dust these days, huh?
How should I know? I don't touch that stuff.
He'd hear things.
Either you know what's coming in, or you know somebody who knows.
And that's a big thing to come in, so yeah, he would probably know.
He's lying.
You stay out of my head.
When I feel strong emotion from 2 feet in front of me, it...
Can he feel it, or is he just saying it?
Try not to think about your complicity in this any further, Ashi.
He's making it up.
Your thoughts are leaking all over the place.
This guy came to me, said he wanted to bring dust through here.
Good tactic.
Dust is nothing but trouble.
Draws too much attention.
Yeah, he's still here.
Goes back to what I was saying earlier. The main distributor's there to do the bigger deals, but whilst he's there, he might as well try and sell some on as well to the local population on the station. Recoup some of the costs of his travel there and stuff like that, and the operation. So that does make sense. Just not the primary reason for him being there. That's to sell to other species.
He's got a place somewhere in the red sector under an assumed name. Morgenstern. That's it.
He knows a lot of information. Well, that distributor's a bit of an idiot, giving away so much information to him.
I thought the sleepers kept you from scanning anyone. So how'd you know he was lying?
Well, the odds were good that he was lying about something.
We knew he was lying. Yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
The badge and the uniform do have certain advantages.
Yeah.
Intimidation.
It worked.
Just like your badge and your uniform.
That is true. He used what was at hand to him to use. He had his reputation to fall back on. Garibaldi would do the similar thing if he could.
What did you think? I
What is
really
it?
want your opinion before I send my report back home. But the cities are thousands of years old.
The lack of new construction is the surest sign of a faltering economy. This could make them very aggressive.
Londo always sees the worst. Veer sees the best. Obviously, we're meant to feel that obviously Veer is right, but usually somewhere in between, being realistic. But yeah, it shows the difference between the two of them, their perspectives.
What did you drop now, Veer? Veer!
Car.
We know where he is. We could have just gone and picked him up.
There's no going. A guy like this is too smart to keep the dust in his place.
Shush! Speaking way too loud.
Anything yet?
Negative. If I had my talent working, I
Hmm.
could have warned you when he was coming.
Yeah.
And if I had a baseball bat, we could hang it from the ceiling and play pinata. I still think I should have gone right to Jakar.
Why annoy the Narn without cause or if we're wrong?
Yeah, but Garibaldi could have spoken to him informally. They've got a relationship.
You think of me as something bright and cheerful, full of toys and candy for young children.
Nope, something you want to hit. Okay, that's good. He's obviously getting close. It didn't say he's coming close because they could hear maybe the voices then. It was just a couple of beeps as a warning. So, alright. Maybe they were speaking because they knew that he wasn't near. Fair enough. Oh, they got some... Yeah, they had something in their ears. I assume that blocks out the sound.
Alright, kill it.
So it's like a more futuristic equivalent of a flash grenade. That looks like a fair bit.
And with any luck, we got to it before anyone else got hurt.
Ah, little late. Oh. Thing is, you don't completely not deserve it. How did he get him down there? They're in an ambassadorial sector. Ah, no. Jakar isn't anymore. He had to have entered an ambassadorial sector and taken him out, more than likely fighting him. How were they not seen? Surely there would be some security guards patrolling the ambassadorial sector just from a basic security point of view. That's a bit odd.
Does it help you to understand how we feel? Does it help you understand our pain?
God, you can see the fear in Londo's face. That's good acting. He looks terrified.
Devin, we took care of it for you.
Yes, but you killed 10,000 nuns.
Oh God, he's going to see that it was Londo who started it all.
Why don't you eliminate the entire non-homeworld while you're at it?
One thing at a time.
I'd forgotten that. Oh.
It was you. You were at the center of it all.
I mean, he's against Londo at the best of times. But to see this as well.
To do with them?
Who are they? Tell me.
He still did it all.
Then I'll take it from you. Neuron by neuron. All of it, Molari! All of it!
It is enough.
Who are you?
I am who I have always been.
Father.
Did he tell a story about his father being hung? I've got a vague memory of that.
If we are a dying people, then let us die with honor by helping the others as no one else can. And some of us must be sacrificed if all are to be saved.
So was that Kosh stopping him from killing Londo? He picked up what was going on and he went into his mind to stop him. Well, not to stop him, but to give him the choice to stop. So,
Will he be all right?
what's going to happen to Jakar? God, he looks a mess.
To the charges of assault on Ambassador Malari, assault on Virkoto, use and purchase of prohibited material, how do you plead?
They're big charges.
During the period that he was under the influence of dust, he was not acting rationally or deliberately. And that may constitute extenuating circumstances.
Had Jakar
I was about to say
seized the
yes.
first person he came upon, then
He hunted down Londo. That's a good
in my
point.
book that constitutes premeditation.
He pled guilty and he's happy to take the punishment.
That you be confined to the station prison facilities for a period of no less than 60 days.
That's not much. For an assault on an ambassador and his, well, two ambassadors, because Veer is.
No, you can keep it for now. Besides, I am now somewhat closer to the source.
So he doesn't know it was Kosh. He thinks it was divine intervention, basically. That's why he said, "I don't need the book anymore. I've got a direct connection, basically." And is that why he was so happy to take the punishment and to move on?
Looks like all of us have been through a war.
Yeah, literally, you have been.
I hope you don't mind the rush to get you off station, Mr. Bester, but the doc says that injection's
Gonna wear off.
I said all along, this whole dust idea wasn't going to work. We spent 5 years developing this stuff, tying it into latent genes. And it hasn't produced one telepath of acceptable strength among the normal population.
It's all them.
And some of us must be sacrificed if all are to be saved.
So is that kind of what the Narn were? A sacrifice? The Centauri, obviously, the Shadows were behind the Centauri attacks on the Narn. The Narn, people didn't step in to save them. If they had, they would have lost, and it would have weakened the forces of light, let's say, if they had stepped in. So basically the Narn were sacrificed for the greater good. Is that kind of what Kosh is saying? Jakar seems to be a bit more at peace now, from what was said, from the vision he had. Basically, he has the vengeance and the anger, has that kind of gone out of him a bit? God, it would have to, after what he discovered. I mean, I say, even at the best of times, he was angry and against Londo, but now knowing that he was behind all of that stuff, I mean, that would be enough, yeah, to rip him apart. So he would have to have lost those feelings. Otherwise, once he's out in 60 days, he'd go back after him. 60 days isn't long for, let's say, seriously assaulting 2 ambassadors, or at least 1 ambassador. I think Veer's an ambassador, isn't he? Well, he's certainly ambassadorial staff. Let's go with that, because I don't think I've actually heard him being called an ambassador. He's been assigned to the Minbari, Centauri, diplomatic place, but I don't know if he's actually been called an ambassador. But yeah, certainly ambassadorial staff. And the illegal drug taking. I mean, I would have thought 60 days would be for just the drugs, to be honest. The assault, I'd have thought, say, especially the ambassadors, I'd have thought you'd be talking a year at least. Certainly in years, not months. So I think he got let off fairly easily. What the judge said about him going after Londo was a good point, and yeah, the captain saying about mitigating circumstances, I was about to agree with him to a certain extent, but the judge is right. Yeah, really good episode. I'm assuming we're not going to see Jakar for a couple of episodes now, because he's going to be locked up, unless someone talks to him whilst he's locked up. So the drug, the Psy cops or Psycor created the drug to try and create more telepaths by the looks of it, but it hasn't worked, and they don't want it to get in the hands of aliens. I suppose they probably do see it as a bit of a weapon, and it's not a weapon they don't want to give to other species, so that does make sense. Really good episode. Yeah, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and I shall see you for the next one. Be seeing you.